What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Excuse me. What is going on, everybody? This your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. Today, this episode is about: can you trust the mainstream media? And I'm going to bring some examples out on that question, whether yes or no. If you could be able to trust it. Why do I feel like it's clear in the back, man? Oh God, this camera. Yeah, there we go. The focus was weird. Like it didn't recognize my face. But that is the question of the day. Can you trust the mainstream media? And I'm going to bring out some examples, especially since, I covered the Jonathan Majors case and other things that I have seen when it comes to the mainstream media and their coverage of certain things. So we're going to get into that conversation on today. Hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gant over at the Heavy Gant channel on YouTube. So you already know what we about to do. The real question is, all right. Let's get into it here. Let's see who is all in the house in the comments section. Junior Network, what's going on? Top of the morning to you. Good morning, admin Robin D. What is up? Good morning, Dre and chat. Hope you hit the like button on the way in, comment and subscribe. Most definitely. Can I pin that comment? I think I can start. You know what I mean? So make sure you guys are liking and sharing onto the channel, especially if you like the conversations that I have going on. Give me just I forgot to do something real quick. Let me go ahead and I don't know why I keep doing this. Let me go ahead and get that settled and get back to the studio. All right, Groovy Fee. What is up? Good morning to you. Persetta's in the house. Good morning. Tracy Woods, good morning. Derpy Entertainment, I'm just here for the beats. We'll see. Here for the beats, stay for the message. All right, D Stizzle's in the house. What's going on? Gray, the other admin, is in the house. What is up? Professor Film Fam, good morning to everyone. The homie Joshua, aka Heavy Get. Make sure you guys are going over, if you want a different perspective on conversation, especially about things that go on, on everyday life, among black people, relationships, whatever, his opinion. I think you will have an amazing time over at the channel. Go find the Heavy Gant channel. Dude is awesome. Always having content, thought-provoking content for y'all to chew on, man. So make sure y'all go, and we got to make sure to collab sometime soon, though, bro. So most definitely hit that guy up, hit his channel up. You know what I'm saying? Large following on his channel, man. Make sure y'all hook him up. You know what I'm saying? And show him some love on his channel. Professor Film Fam said, nope, I don't trust the media. Don't trust the mainstream media. The job is to print a narrative from business, not facts. And most definitely agree with you on that, because this thing, we have to understand that publication is a business. So what it is a business, and it's a business to sell a story. No matter is fact, no matter if it's fiction, no matter what, its job is to sell a story. And to me, a lot of the mainstream media is bought, and it's bought by whoever wants to paint a narrative or paint an ideology, whether you're on the left or the right, whether or whatever, wherever your side is. You are paid now to pick a side. And to me, a lot of morality. Shout out to Lauren Victoria Burke because the last video she was talking about, she was actually talking about my take on my video that I did. Jamie, what is up? My girl Jamie, what is up? She was talking about how the mainstream media, you know, always tries to paint a particular type of narrative to everything. What is up, Keita? What is up? Good morning. And I believe that. And I'm going to show some examples today. This is just commentary. This is just my opinion. This is not facts, but there is going to be receipts that I'm going to pull. So the first thing I want to talk about, and shout out to Miss Marvel. I shared this in our group. You know what I mean? Of the Law Avengers, if you could call it that. You know what I mean? With Danny and She Dressed Me and Pam Entertainment, Cat, shared this, but I want to share this article, and this is something going to be interesting. This is just the first part of this. There's always I'm gonna break this down and make it make a lot of sense. And of course, I'm gonna full screen this. Oh, my bad. Don't have where's my stuff at? There we go. So this comes up, and this is the media analysis from I think it's called Mondo Wise. And again, shout out to my homegirl Miss Marvel over there on Twitter X. You know what I'm saying, for dropping this jewel on me. And again, everything that I do, I pop it in and I don't read over it because I want to read it with you guys. And the reason why I want to read it with you guys, for the simple fact, is that I want you to get my real reaction in real time to certain things. Not I don't read it and be like, I can't believe they said that. Nah, real reaction on this. And this starts off by saying, extraordinary charges of bias emerged against New York Times reporter Annette Shorts. Now, just the opening title gives you a clear-cut, perspective of what you're going to read. There's all these charges of biasness emerging against the New York Times reporter, Annette Schwartz. Now, is Annette the only person in the New York Times that is doing what I call dirty journalism? Biased, dirty journalism to get your name out there, to say, look who I am. I wrote this piece. I wrote that piece. And then you come to find out that the piece is just biasness, so you could be able to paint a narrative, and within that narrative, you could be able to tell somebody how they should think and feel, a la Clayton Bigsby. And it's funny that, that joke about that was done, years ago, on the Chappelle Show. Yet we still have the mainstream media, literally telling you how to think and feel. So let's get into this. It said new doubts are emerging about the New York Times coverage of sexual violence in the October 7th attack. The paper must explain why it broke its own rules by hiring a clearly biased writer who endorsed racist and violent rhetoric towards Palestinians. And of course, this is a question that they're asking about why this is going on. And I believe the author is James North, is a Modo West editor at large, and has reported from Africa, Latin America to Asia for 4 decades. He lives in New York. Follow him at Twitter at James North 7. And just the way that this is starting off, it's like, this is a media analysis. This is just an analysis of what, he's seeing this going on, basically commentary to what's happening. So let me just give you a little bit of this, and then I'm going to tell you how this ties in to not only Jonathan Majors, but the way that Alvin Bragg was viewed by the New York Times in the midst of everything else he had going on, especially with the immigrants who beat up cops, and he let, 5 out of 6 of them go. All right. So he said new doubts are emerging about the New York Times coverage of sexual violence during the October 7th Hamas-led attack, and the paper owes its readers an open and transparent explanation. What's more, its reporting on the issue has become so questionable that it should assign new reporters to go over the entire story again. The latest question is centered around Annette Schwartz, an Israeli who co-authored several of the paper's most widely circulated reports, including the now well-known and scrutinized December 28th article headline, Screens Without Words, How Hamas Weaponized Sexual Violence on October the 7th. Now, what's going on, Roberta and Jameer? I hopefully I got to you what's going on. Now, what I like about this is that they took the time out because, again, let's go back to the top. What does this publication, what do they center around? News and opinions. Okay, I wanted to highlight it. Come on, let's highlight it. Dang it, I didn't want to do that. Now I'm gonna have to go back a little bit. But it's news and opinions about I can't do it. What is going on? Okay, anyway, news and opinions about Palestine, Israel, and the United States. So it's telling you this is news and opinion about Palestine, Israel, and the United States. And they're asking the question, why? Why was it so vital for the New York Times to post an article like this that weaponized, sexual violence as a key point, as a key factor in the Hamas war, in this Hamas war? And my question, because I completely understand, my question is to you guys: where is the black publication that came to the aid of Jonathan Majors? Where was the black publication? Shout out to Roland Martin and Victoria Burke and all of that for covering the way that they covered Jonathan Majors, Kevin Porter Jr., and shed light to Adam Foster's case in New York. And I'm just dealing with what Alvin Bragg has done here, right? So the big thing is that when you look at articles, and again, I could pull up a Jonathan Major article from the New York Times. Matter of fact, let me go and do that real quick. And I'm going to show you the media biasness and why it's so very hard to trust mainstream media. So give me just a second while I pull up this. So I'm gonna share now. Look how the New York Times frame this. The fast and staggering fall of Jonathan Majors after an indie film breakout just 4 years ago. He was headed to A-list, but a criminal conviction immediately jeopardizes his leading man status. Again, they just say a criminal conviction. They don't tell you what the criminal conviction is. Let's go down a little further. And I think this is when Cal Buchanan ended up blocking me. But again, this doesn't tell you. Remember, I did the article the other day and exposed the root about how they framed Jonathan Majors, right? Come to find out, the root had this white woman who was talking about African-American culture or whatever. It's no shade to white people, who talk about the culture, but you're not ingrained in the culture to tell me what the culture is. I'm sorry. That's not your job. Your job is to report. But you gave an opinion piece, and I did say, hey, this was an opinion, right? This doesn't tell you That is an opinion. So this comes off as fact to the average reader who was looking at this. And this is how the media tricks you. This is a tactic. Hell, J. Jonah Jameson did this tactic in the Spider-Man comics. You know what I mean? And Persetti, you right. Whoever makes the goal makes the rules. You know what I mean? And look how this is framed. Again, they tell you all the, all the good stuff, in everything. But look, go down to the chapter. Instead, Majors is flamed out in spectacular fashion, charged in March with attacking his girlfriend at the time. You don't see the word allege. And since we know that Jonathan Majors was found not guilty of intentional assault, how can you even put attacking his girlfriend? That's not what he was charged. He's not going to tell you what he was actually charged of. You know what I mean? At that time, and how those charges were dropped. Every single charge in the initial arrest was dropped. And then they recharged him when Grace Jabari got arrested. And again, they won't tell you that Grace Jabari was arrested. They won't tell you that she was charged with assault herself. This is what the narrative that they push. And again, I got more examples, but I'm just saying. Instead of saying, it said Major flamed out in spectacular fashion. Charged in March with attacking his girlfriend at the time, Grace Jabari, Major was convicted on Monday of reckless assault and harassment. Do you know what's immediately? There's no, and they're not going to give you a redaction. They didn't do it with Adam False. You know what I mean? They didn't do it with Kevin Porter Jr. They're not doing it with any of this. You know what I mean? But look how this was framed. Instead of saying Monday a reckless assault, a misdemeanor, and harassment, a violation. Right? They don't tell you that. So the average reader, this is where, the newspaper, I think Michael Beck said, the newspaper will have you hating the ones is innocent and rooting for the ones that's guilty. Because this is how the narrative is spent. And I'm showing you how the narrative is spent because he doesn't tell you what the actual charge is. Is it felony reckless assault? Is it misdemeanor reckless assault? Is it a violation? He does not tell you. Why? Because the narrative is this. I got to point out how fast, the fall of Jonathan Major. I had to paint him as a big black Negro who beat his girlfriend and threw away his career. That's a narrative that I have to push. I'm gonna give you another example. This is from Deadline, or is it Deadspin? This is from Deadspin. Not really a major publication, but check this out. Let me show you this. What up, Jay? What they like to do is drag things out too to hurt his career. So even if he win eventually, he still lost lots of money and looked at different. Exactly, and that's what the publication is. And shout out to Flavio Sosa, the homie out in South America, that tweeted out that Albert Braggs is worth $42 million. For a district attorney, is worth $42 million. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that he would have paid off someone like, a reporter at the New York Times to make this man look guilty and make him look like he's a hero. And that's because of what he ran his campaign on from 2014 on up. All right. This is what they said on Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is being sued by an Instagram model for breaking her leg during it's a taping of him doing drills, and she broke her leg. Obviously, it was an accident, but she tried to say it was intentional. But look at the way Deadspin painted the narrative of Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill hasn't been in trouble since he's been in the league. Even the allegations of him breaking his child's arm, that was false. It was false. I'm from Kansas City. I remember when he came into the league, you know, when we drafted him, and it was like, oh, he beat his then girlfriend in college, and that's why he got kicked out of college, had to go to a Division II school, and then we drafted him in the 5th round. People were booing the pick, all of that. Then, just like how Cat did, with the majors transcripts, one of the guys, exactly. They were calling them. Thank you, Kat. And Kat did an excellent job. And make sure you guys, if you haven't subscribed to Kat's channel, make sure you go do that. You know, do it after this live, but make sure you go do that. And this is the reason why I'm bringing up what Kat did, because what Kat did by bringing up the transcripts of the actual court documentation of how the trial went, the same thing happened with Tyreek Hill. There was a lawyer, I think his name, they call him the Rhino lawyer or something. That was on Twitter. He's from Kansas City. Pulled up the actual transcripts. This is what more people need to do, and that's why I thank Kat for doing what she did. Pulled up the transcripts of what happened in Tyreek Hill's case. Come to find out that he was engaged in rough sex with his then girlfriend. That's how she got bruises and everything on her back, yada, yada, yada. Well, come to find out, she was also cheating on this man and attacked him. So when campus police found out about it, they called the actual police. They arrested him. Because I'm sorry to tell you, in a domestic violence situation, if it's a man or a woman, the man is going to jail 9 times out of 10. Unless he comes in and this girl is choking him, she got a gun in her hand. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guarantee you they wouldn't have shot her like they did that young lady in Lancaster, California. But I digress. I digress. But this is exactly what happened. Yep, Crystal Espinosa was the ex. Yep. Old Crystal. And all of us know in Kansas City about old Crystal. Crystal did the same thing to Tyreek Hill that Grace Jabari did to Jonathan Majors. Secretly recorded him and tried to make him seem like he's the bad guy. Now, what ended up happening is that one of our local stations, it was Channel 5. Was it Channel 5 or Channel 4? Channel 5. Was the home of the Chiefs and all of this locally. You know, they got the information. This is why I asked the question, can you trust the mainstream media? They got the audio, right? And they chopped it up. This is a 12-minute, like 11, 12-minute conversation. They chopped up in a sound bite about 45 or 45 seconds to a minute, to make him seem like he was the worst human being on the face of the planet because of the allegation. He played no contest. And I understand why he played no contest. He said, I ain't had no money. I'm not trying to go fight it in court. I ain't got no money. I'm a poor black college student getting kicked off my team because of this shit. And because the prosecutor was so gun-ho about prosecuting somebody. This is how it is. Not searching for the truth, prosecutions, because that's how they make their money. That's how you continue to get funded, all of that stuff. You see what I mean? This is how you get it. What's going on, Erica Dixon? A Cat is amazing. She's been doing an amazing job with pulling up those transcripts. And again, pulling up those transcripts and reading them out loud so you can see, so you can hear for yourself how off the whole conversation was when they were cross-examining and they were talking to Grace Jabari while she was on the stand, where she didn't even make any sense, right? So look how Deadspin is spinning this. Sean Beckwith. This was just published yesterday. Again, the allegations, he's getting sued. To me, he's probably going to settle out of court. That's what I'm thinking. He would just settle out of court, pay the lady, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And get this over with. You know what I mean? But he said, I give you even odds to Tyreek Hill turns into Antonio Brown in 3 years. We all know it seemed like Antonio Brown was losing his mind towards towards the end of his career. But the thing is that Tyreek Hill displays none of those characteristics, that Antonio Brown was doing. Antonio Brown was tripping. You know what I mean? Antonio Brown was tripping. Cass said, what's weird is that the public filed for the divorce at the end of January this year, and Tyreek is like, I didn't file that. I fired that bonehead lawyer, and then the suit is filed. You see what it again, because of that, what happened in college, this is how they paint him. So again, why would you paint this like this if you wasn't trying to, if you wasn't trying to paint a narrative? Look at what he said. Since Tyreek Hill was traded away for the Kansas City Chiefs, he allegedly smacked a guy at a marina, said he wants to be a porn star, and said he wants to fight Jake Paul, aired out his former organization multiple times, has his mansion burned down due to a child playing with fire, had his attorney accidentally filed divorce papers, fired said effing bonehead lawyer, fielded a couple of paternity tests, and now being sued by a model who allegedly alleges he broke her leg during a training exercise at his house. Let's keep going. Why was Hill holding a session at his house? Because the influencer, Sophie Hall, said Hill allegedly invited her after she and her son attended a football camp. Hill has yet to publicly comment on the lawsuit, presumably because he's trying to explain to his wife why he invited a model to his mansion for one-on-one football drills. It again, you see how this is going? Because of his previous allegations, they're going to try to ramsack this dude. Now, I'm about to flip this because it's enough. I'm about to just show you. Again, these are allegations against Tyreek Hill, right? I'm going to show you how they covered a bank, and this is the New York Times. I'm going to show you how they covered a bank robber from Kansas City who is one of the biggest Chiefs fans out here. A Kansas City super fan, not former super fan, Kansas City superfan known as Cheesaholic pleads guilty on Wednesday in federal court on charges related to a string of bank robberies across 7 states in 2022 and 2023, prosecutors said, adding that he used some of the money to gamble on his favorite team. The man, Xavier Michael, I think it's Xavier Michael Badudar, 29, pleaded guilty before Judge Howard Sachs of U.S. District Court in Kansas City, Missouri, to 1 count of money laundering and 1 count of transporting stolen property across state lines, the U.S. Attorney Office for the Western District of Missouri said in a statement. Mr. Babudar also pleaded guilty to 1 count of bank robbery in a federal case, and Oklahoma prosecutors said. You see how they call him Mr. You see how they keep... I want you to understand this man, first of all, this is how this whole thing got started. The guy Cheesaholic was a guy who went around to the any Chiefs game, was always at every Chiefs game with this wolf costume on. Very fitting, for a wolf costume, right? And this guy stopped coming to the I think he went to Houston. He was supposed to go to Houston, was at the Houston game, but he wasn't on social media after that. He wasn't at the next game. Dude was always on social media. Now, if you're going to rob banks, you're going to be robbing people. You probably don't want to put yourself on social media, right? But so he stopped coming to the games, right? And what basically happened is people got worried. People was looking for him. Somebody said, hey, where's Cheesaholic? They started looking for him. One person got wise and did the only thing you could do, check the hospitals, check the jail. And come to find out, the man was in jail. Right? Come to find out, the man was in jail. And that is where this whole thing kind of went from after there, right? So they're still treating this guy. What pisses me off is they're still treating this guy like, oh, he's just a super fan. He just this. He just if you and again, uh if you read the article in the way the article is painting this guy, the article is painting this guy like, he's still a good dude. The dude's out here robbing folks. You know what I mean? He's out here robbing people. But no, they're not getting into those details. What they're getting into the details is painting this guy, who you know what it is. You know what it is. And that is the point that I try to convey. This is why I don't trust the mainstream media. You know what I mean? This is literally why I don't trust the mainstream media. Is because the way that they cover people, is horrible. It's horrible. Is completely horrible. And it's almost like, well, damn, what do you do? It's like, what do you do? Because, they're not going to say that, well, there were super fans that was there. And I'm going to prove to you, again, this guy is out here, robbing banks, right? But they're not going to say the same thing about this. And this is talking about, this is how I'm showing you just a media spin. What's up, Tori Ray Reloaded? Apologetic Simmer, what's going on? Miss Sparks. But yes, he is. You know what I'm saying? Top of the morning to you, the Fergusons. What's going on? But again, a person near Union Station in Kansas City, Missouri on February 14th left one person dead and 22 injured, including 9 children. Most of the injured were struck by gunshots. An eruption of violence came as thousands of people had gathered for a public celebration of Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl win and transformed a day of joy and civic pride into one of loss and fear. Here's what we know so far. 2 residents were charged with murder in the shooting. Gene Peter Bakers, the Jackson County prosecutor, said in the news conference. The men, Dominique Miller and Lindell Mays, began arguing as the rally dispersed, the authorities said. Did you see that it didn't say super fans got into it and started shooting each other? They didn't say that. It's not super fans. They're not you see the way that I can keep saying this man's a fan. This man, Mr. That. Well, I mean, they do it here. You know what I mean? With Mr. Miller, Mr. May said 25 people were shot, one fatally. Elizabeth Galvin was killed by a gunshot wound. Both men are facing murder charges and were wounded by gunfire, remain hospitalized. Prosecutors said more arrests is possible. 2 teenagers were charged with resisting arrest and gun-related offenses. The connection of 2 men were charged with the murder, and the teenagers were charged with lesser offenses. Last week was unclear. We don't know their names or whatever. But again, it's the way that the narrative is being pushed. I got one more that I'm going to show you. And I'm going to kind of wrap this up because I just want to prove my point. That's all I really want to do is prove my point. And this is from Fandom Wire. Fandom Wire is not a large publication, but shout out to Caliber for this one. Tim. So one PR failure after another, Jonathan Majors made it impossible to support him with one heinous mistake after the conviction, reveals crisis management expert. Again, if you're a crisis, matter of fact, crisis. If I'm not mistaken, Lori Victoria Burt is also, I believe she does crisis management. Also, did she say that one PR failure after another? Did his PR team leave him? But let's just see what this says. Public relations experts believe that there is no way Jonathan Majors could rise from the ashes of a tarnished reputation after his conviction. The actor was infamously charged with assault. You see what I'm saying? Do you see how the narrative, you see how, excuse me, how one side paints the narrative and the other side paints the narrative. And what is the common denominator of the people that I chose? A white man who was out there robbing base. He's a super fan. The guy's a super fan. He was out here robbing base, but he was a super. He wanted to go to the game. He wanted to go to the game. And so what? He had to rob a bank or two. So what? He was, money laundering. Hey, Lauren, what's going on? This is from Fandom Wire, and I will share this on Twitter once I'm off of here. I'll send this to your inbox so you can read this for yourself. But it says a public relations expert believes that there is no way Jonathan. I think I read that. The actor was infamously charged with assaulting his former girlfriend, Grace Jabari, after a conflict that happened in March last. You see this with assaulting. This is again. What was he charged with? Reckless assault. Reckless assault is not the same thing as intentional assault. It's not. But if you frame it in this way, and then Fandom Wire, who does, this is what they do: franchises, movie, TV, gaming, celebrities, anime, tech, exclusive trailers, etc. That's why this is the main reason why I told you guys that I still cover Marvel, DC, all of this stuff. So I can counter this bull crap for y'all. The more that you have allies like me that covers what Marvel, what Disney, what they do, when they make articles like this, I can be able to come through and counter the contrary for this, because this is how they frame certain stuff. It can come to a movie. You know what you don't see? Alec Baldwin on, they're not talking about Alec Baldwin on here and how his career is tarnished forever after PR mistake, after PR mistake, after PR mistake, after PR mistake. You don't see that. Maybe because he's not a big enough star anymore. Maybe that's what it is. You know what I mean? Or any of that. You know what I mean? Or maybe you chose to go after this man because it's easy pickings to continue to destroy this man. So even if suffer some, a reason that Marvel decides to hire this guy back, you can go back and say, no, but he assaulted his girlfriend. I got the article to prove it. And this is false. This is false. He was charged with assault. He was charged with assault. I mean, with strangulation and all this stuff. But did they tell you that it was dropped? Did they tell you that it was dropped? No. They didn't say. They don't even tell you that she was arrested also. This is the biasness that the mainstream media does. What's going on, Ms. Rock Kitty? Said I stopped listening to news ages ago. They are shills and will only report lies and what they want. And this is proven. This is proven. After a long and strenuous trial, the Marvel star was found guilty of misdemeanor. At least they put the word misdemeanor, but they put misdemeanor assault, not misdemeanor reckless assault, not harassment, which is a violation. You know what I'm saying? Third degree harassment, which is a city ticket. Misdemeanor assault and harassment. What if you're not privy to things that go on like this? You don't know what misdemeanor assault means. You don't know the difference between misdemeanor or felony assault. You don't even know what reckless assault means. What if you don't know any of that? According to them, it's just misdemeanor assault and harassment. Again, that's why we continue to cover what I cover. Prior to his sentence, he has been dropped from several projects, companies, including his management team, Entertainment 360, Texas Ranger ad campaign, or later on Disney. Remember, that happened literally after he got arrested. But again, they don't tell you this. You know what I mean? What's up, Andre Ware? But see, you see how easy it is for them not to tell you the full entire context, to be able to paint a narrative that Tyreek Hill, and I'm just showing you that Tyreek Hill, the worst person on the planet. He got all this stuff going on, and eventually, what's going to happen? He's going to be Antonio Brown. The Root said that Jonathan Majors and Chris Brown, they were whatever they said, but they was comparing Jonathan Majors to Chris Brown. Like their situations is different. I mean, it's the same. You know what I mean? But again, you don't see the same thing when Jeremy Renner had his allegations. You didn't see publication after publication after publication after publication finding this stuff about him. But you do find publication after publication after publication after he almost chopped his legs off in an accident. Oh man, Jeremy Renner, and we feel so horrible for, which I did. I feel horrible for him because I would hate to have that happen. And I'm trying to save somebody, and that's what happened to my legs. You know what I mean? Just being honest. But you see more of this scene praising him and completely ignoring the allegation that he had in 2021. Not something that happened in 1999, like Robert Downey Jr. Not something that happened, in 2003 or 2004. Like Josh Brolin. But 2021, and as soon as they got a chance, they completely changed the narrative. But you continue to see how they continue to push a narrative against Jonathan Majors. And let me just take this off my screen because I got to wrap this up. But you now understand why, as a black man, I don't trust the mainstream media. I don't. I ask you guys a question. Anybody watching on the replay, do you trust them? I don't trust the mainstream media. The reason why I don't trust the mainstream media, look at the way that they treat us. Look at the way that they use particular words and stuff like that to be able to paint a picture. And when you paint that picture, the people who go and read this garbage and say, wait a minute, what misdemeanor assault? What assault? They don't ask questions. They just read. What's up, Caliber? And thank you for this. Thank you for this article also. You know what I mean? You got right now, you have people that write articles of, and attack Donald Trump, but then you got people who's writing the contrary about Donald Trump and using Donald Trump as an example. But Donald Trump is going to jail. Is federally indicted and all this other stuff, right? Still winning primaries. I'm not trying to bring politics into this conversation, but I'm just saying, you got people who write certain things about him, but you got the complete opposite. Where is the opposite for us? So that's what I'm saying. As a black man, I cannot trust this, because what you're going to do is you're going to paint a narrative, whatever narrative that you got to push to be able to push whatever you want to push. You're going to do that. And the people who got the money will pay you to push it. And that is a problem. And this is why I have a problem with the mainstream media. I'm not saying every mainstream media outlet is doing this, because look what ABC did with the Jonathan Majors interview. Whether they said he should have did it or he shouldn't have did it, the interview at least painted a complete narrative about what went on and did not sell it short by telling you stuff that is incorrect. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying all, but you have to be very, very careful about what you're reading or what you're consuming, even from the YouTube channels. You know me, I done went after some big YouTube channels just because of the way that they cover Jonathan Majors with these millions and millions of followers that they got. You know what I mean? So you have to be just very careful about what you read and be able to watch. And I'm just, like I said, this is commentary, but I want to teach you guys about the narrative spin.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
All right. Got to wrap this up. Thank you guys for tuning into another episode of the Dre Max Show. But let me ask that question. Can you trust the mainstream media? If you're watching this on the replay or after this, you got more to say in the comments, the actual comments, put it in the comment section below. But I do appreciate you guys who came in to start talking about what's going on. But if you want to comment, you want a full comment, of course, I'll read all comments. They come on here, put it on the comment section before. And also, if you guys have articles because I'm very, very busy and it's hard for me to see everything. But if you guys have articles or anything that you guys want me to cover that has to do with comic book movie news, all of this stuff, plus the stuff that we're covering with Jonathan Majors to keep this man, for us to keep countering the bull crap that these people write, put it, DM me on Twitter or DM me at the Real Dre Mac on IG. Again, I thank you guys for tuning in to the show. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Enjoy your Thursday. Where's my outro at? I got to get up out of here. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.